How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing: always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Lucid, which was able to post up a green day. They did have some news that came out today. We'll talk about that inside this video, but we have a lot of big things that are happening tomorrow. We'll talk about that as well, but I want to remind you guys, if you're new to this channel, we do have timestamps down below inside the description because I value your time. So what we're going to do, we're going to be taking a look at the charts. We're going to be taking a look at the short interest, telling you guys my price levels, and then we're going to be going into the final thoughts afterwards. So let's get into those videos. So we're going to take a look at the chart for Lucid. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $12.65, being up 1.36%. On the low, it tested $12.20, and then on the high, testing $13.22. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 21.971 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 17.11 million shares. So we had above average volume on the day, and we saw some strength in the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, we can see that Lucid is trading below all of our major moving averages, which is a 50 EMA, the 21 EMA, and as well as the 9 EMA. We also do see this bearish pattern of lower lows and as well as lower highs. And as far as for today, you can see we put in a 52-week low at 1220. So going into tomorrow, of course, this is an area you'd want to see hold up. You want to see a higher low. And since it did see a high at $13.22, if we can get a break above this level, then we can see Lucid getting to the 9 EMA at $13.73. So I'd watch that area very closely. If we decide to actually test back to 13 and we end up being rejected, that's where we can put in another 52-week low, and then I'd want to see strength or support holding up right here around 12 bucks. If Lucid breaks through 12 bucks, that's where I could start seeing it getting down to around $11.80 in my personal opinion. And you know what? This is actually close to the SPAC price. Again, SPAC start off at 10 bucks. So that's something to take into consideration, especially if you're thinking about taking an investment in this play. Do your homework, of course. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for Lucid. So scrolling down on the page, green rows indicate new positions, while red rows indicate closed positions. So when we take a look at the recent filings we have here for October the 11th, we have Householder Group Estate and Retirement Specialist LLC that went in with a purchase of 7,300 shares. And we also have for October the 4th, AdvisorNet Financial Inc. that purchased 5 shares. And I think we went over that one as well. Now, when we take a look at the short interest, the off-exchange short volume ratio is at 61.27%, and then for the off-exchange short volume, it is just over 4.73 million shares. Scrolling down on the page, the short shares availabilities is at 0, updated just now, and then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 6.10%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of the 7th, it is at 73.01, and then for the close of the 10th, being at 61.27. So it has gone down significantly, and then when we take a look at the short interest percentage of the float being at 21.54%, Lucid does continue to have short squeeze potential. So for my final thoughts for Lucid, when it comes to the price action, we ended up testing a low at $12.20, and this is right where we have our 52-week low. And as far as for the high of the day, we got to $13.22. So going into tomorrow, what do you want to see? You want to see if Lucid can make a move going to at least $13.73. If it is able to do this, that's where we can get that potential test to see if it can get to $14. We know there's going to be a lot of bears, a lot of sellers there, so please add that to your homework if you are thinking about trading it. Now, as far as for the downside is concerned, since we did test a new 52-week low at $12.20 and we end up breaking through that level, then of course you want to see strength right at $12. And this gets very interesting due to the fact that, you know what, we know Lucid started out as a SPAC and the floor price is usually around 10 bucks. So seeing Lucid trading near that level, again, I must say it's very interesting, and if you are an investor, I would definitely be looking into it. Get some information, do some research, and find out if this would be the right investment for you. This is very important to make sure that you have high conviction. As far as for the recent news that came out today, Lucid ended up having a recall. This seems to be something very common inside of the EV sector. We also saw Rivian did the same thing as well, well. And of course, Tesla has been through many. But if you're invested in car companies, this is to be expected, so that shouldn't bother you whatsoever. Also, going into Wednesday, it's definitely going to be a volatile day. We have PPI numbers that are going to be coming out, and as well as the Fed minutes that are going to be coming out at 2 p.m. EST. And we know what happens inside of the market. Inside of the Discord, we actually like trading off of this volatility. But for yourself, if you see opportunities, I highly suggest that you take advantage of them. But just make sure that you have a game plan in place. Will Lucid be impacted by this volatility? Most definitely. And considering that it does continue to have short squeeze potential, that's why I would keep it on watch and pay attention to those areas of support and as well as resistance when we're taking a look at the charts. That's why I give you guys the upside and as well as the downside, so you can formulate some sort of a strategy so you are not trading blindly. But with all of that said, it was great to see that Lucid was able to post up a green day, considering the fact that we did see some weakness inside of the markets. So let's see what it does going into tomorrow, and I will continue to keep you guys inside of the loop. We'll talk soon.